Aside, Micah Hunt is the Director of Senior Support Services Division at Garrett Realty Partners. Micah works for the company as an advisor and navigator to assist seniors with their next chapter. His experience prior to this role began as an EMT for a medical transport company and many other healthcare and senior living companies for the last 10 years. Micah's passion for serving the community and providing awareness for Alzheimer's disease, which is how we met. Micah is not a realtor, though, and focuses on the next steps for and during that transition. And I want to add, he is also volunteering with Bridge the Gap podcast, if you've ever heard of that podcast. Yes, I'm calling this out. And he's recently started a YouTube channel, too. This presentation that will be provided will be on the topic of LinkedIn 101 and how best to utilize it for your business and personal use. He's provided this discussion for ECPI students for a number of years in other organizations as well. His knowledge in the field is rewarding and hopes it will help build others' confidence in using it as well. And lastly, but not least, of course, Micah is married to the lovely Andy and has two beautiful girls, Fiona and Krista. And with that, if you all want to put your information, that virtual business card in the chat, I'm going to pass it over to Micah.
And a spoiler alert, third baby is on the way too in August. So,
yay!
Woo! I don't know how I do all the things that she just shared, but we'll get through it. Thank you all again for joining us this evening. I will try to keep this as lively and as entertaining and as energetic, but I do hope that you gather some information about LinkedIn because we're in a virtual world now and we're utilizing social media more frequently now. And I know some people have a LinkedIn account. I mean, show of hands, how many actually have a LinkedIn account? So let's see. Oh, good. How many like and comment? Okay, that's still pretty good. That's like 90%. That's awesome. Trust me, I do these sometimes and people are like, no, once a month. That's fine. Trust me, we all start somewhere. We start small. It took me a long time to get where I am and feeling comfortable sharing this. So I'm going to share my screen. Boop, 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 boop. Oops, wrong one. Oops, wrong one. That's what happens when you move too fast. Here we go. So LinkedIn Training 101 for yourself and your organization. One thing that I want to let people know is that LinkedIn is a professional site. However, it also is for you and your company. So wherever your agency or your organization is, you're sharing that on LinkedIn. So you are sharing yourself and building your reputation, but you're also building your company's reputation as well. So we're going to go into more of that. So what we will go over, we'll be going over a lot in this short period of time. Emily told me I have like 20 minutes and I'm going to do my best to keep it at 20 minutes. So Emily, wave your hand or chat me and go, stop now, cut it, shut it. So we're going to go over a lot, but I feel that the information I will share is going to be pertinent for you and help you feel more confident and grow in using LinkedIn as well as I have been able to over the years. So a little bit about me. Emily already shared a lot about my journey. And it's unique. Yes, I'm in senior living and healthcare, but it really can be a beneficial avenue for anybody. I think I saw somebody that said Mass Mutual. We have Alzheimer's, we have the Chamber, we have TSO Life. We have a lot of different organizations that are present here. So, this can be used in any aspect that's your business and what you're trying to showcase to benefit you and your company. Again, LinkedIn is tied to wherever your company is. So when you're posting, they see you, but they also see the company you work for and allowing you to do the things that you do. So it really is a twofold. It's a win-win for both sides. And I've been able to, again, to use it, and we're going to go into that. LinkedIn. I really love LinkedIn more than Facebook. If you have a Facebook account, you can follow me there too. But I love LinkedIn more because it does not have drama. It does not have a lot of, back and forth banter, if you will, from Facebook. Using LinkedIn to build yourself an organization, how to stay in touch with your connections, and what is a good way to network. LinkedIn is the best way to stay connected, especially during a COVID crisis and the pandemic that we're in, where we're not allowed to actually connect with people. And I am a hugger. I will hug people till I'm blue in the face. Gary, unfortunately, knows this. He and I have done trade shows in the past, and together at networking groups, and I will hug. And you can all imagine COVID has been detrimental to me and has really hurt me because I can't hold and hug people. My kids are loving it, so are my wife, but I love people, and it's been a challenge. But LinkedIn has really been allowing me to branch out and use it more. So again, LinkedIn is not Facebook. On Facebook, you still see people posting food, what they ate for lunch, and Instagram, and those different avenues. There are people on LinkedIn that will post their food, but they are a food company. They work for a food company, so they're sharing their experiences. And I work in senior living, so I see a lot of communities posting like their amazing meals, these amazing, chefs that are preparing such amazing meals to their seniors and to their residents. However, be aware of that. You will see some food, but not a lot. So again, there is some people on there that do political, but they just kind of do a quick shout out to politics, but it's not really where people go to vent and say, oh, well, your guy sucks and my guy's better. There's none of that. It's just they post it and then they move on and just kind of share a comment or something. There's more sharing of professional ideas and promoting businesses. And that's what I really love about LinkedIn. Since I've started using, since we went virtual, I've been doing these weekly conferences, as Emily shared with you. And a lot of the conferences that I've been putting together, the speakers I've been getting, have been from following organizations, seeing promotions of other people speaking, and I go, hey, I think that would be a great topic. So I reach out to them and I start the conversation to see if they would be interested in speaking. So it's really amazing on how many people actually promote their businesses and their ideas on how they're doing things during COVID. And it's been really a benefit. Ability to stay connected with professionals in our busy lives. We all know social media is our escape. So I will probably answer a private message on LinkedIn before I answer an email because I feel like it's going to be more interesting and I may not know the person and they're trying to build a connection with me. And if it's an email, chances are I already know who they are. I can already kind of see it, but I'm more intrigued by LinkedIn and what people are asking and wanting to be involved in and why they want to connect. So don't share that with too many people, but that's just what I do because it's a nice way to escape and see what other people are doing. This is your best way to stay connected with your partners. You have a lot of connections and business vendors, partners in the industry that you're trying to stay in touch with, but you haven't been able to talk to them. Chances are they're spending quite a bit of time on LinkedIn. And if you follow their company and sharing their company or commenting on it, well, now they're going, oh, that's right. You guys are our partners. We're vendors together. You're adding that, collaboration and synergy with those companies and vendors because you're following their process as well as they're following yours. So it's a good give and give, especially since you're not able to see them as often as we would pre-COVID. So these are some of the things, the benefits of LinkedIn, even more so now than previously in pre-COVID. Post anything and everything. Everything that I post on LinkedIn, I post on Facebook and Facebook on LinkedIn, as long as it's not family. If it's family pictures, then obviously that stays on Facebook. I try to keep the two separate. But typically, if you see a post on LinkedIn from me, I have done the same on Facebook. So it's, what the first post is going to be the most challenging for a lot of people, especially video. People love watching videos. There's statistics out there that show that video is more watched than pictures. In the past, when I would do these presentations, I would say pictures are worth 1,000 words. So a lot of posts, if you were to just post a comment or just post a paragraph, but there's no picture, chances are it's going to be skipped because they think that picture was part of or that post was part of another picture that they saw. If you have a picture, people are more willing to stop to see what that picture is about than a post of a paragraph that will get neglected and overseen. So if you're going to post, try to have a picture of something, even if it's your company logo, just have something to make people stop. And even more so with video, because people want to watch the videos. They want to see, what are you saying? But obviously have a little sentence or two to encourage them to listen. Give them some, some little nuggets to go, you want to listen to this. You really want to listen to this. Have a professional profile. Don't just have the standard silhouette of a man or female. People want to know who they're about to connect with. A lot of people, again, will connect with you if you have an actual profile picture because they want to be able to see, who am I connecting with? Are they engaging? Are they fun? Are they serious? Like, do I want to connect with them? For the females in the room, unfortunately, no matter what social media app you're going to have, there are sharks. Okay. So even if you have a profile picture that has no cleavage, there are sharks out there often that are going to try to private message you and go, hey, I see what you're doing. And they're going to try to, put advances on you. Unfortunately, that happens a lot on LinkedIn, more so than I would like to admit, but they are out there. I do see lots of female posts of sharing, the names of those people and say not to connect with them because they're just out there for the wrong reason. So just be cautious of that, ladies. Be cautious when using acronyms in your name. A lot of people will have, obviously the normal ones, PhD, MSW, if you're in senior living and healthcare, ALS. We know what that means, but some people on this call probably may not know what SW is, or LCSW, licensed certified social worker. So if you're going to have acronyms, make sure that in your profile bio that you share what that acronym means, so people will want to connect with you. Okay, just be aware of that. I've seen people not want to connect because they're like, I don't know what that acronym is, and they must be really smart, and I don't know if I can meet on their level or have a connection with them. So have that, and I've seen people that just connect because they want to connect. This guy. So just be aware of having acronyms, having too many behind your name when you have it. So here's a screenshot of my profile. That's me. I'm crazy. I do not have a professional picture whatsoever, but I want people to feel comfortable when they're scrolling through and they see my name pop up and they go to it. They're going to go, okay, this guy seems entertaining and fun. He's wearing a purple suit and he has ALZ balloons and he has this really wacky pose. And if you had a close-up of it, my face is, and that's kind of my normal pose, unfortunately, pre-COVID. And so my background is Bridge the Gap Senior Living Podcast. And in the title, you can have up to 150 characters in your title. So showcase some of the things that makes you for yourself and for your organization. So obviously the first thing is director of the senior support team at Garrett Realty Partners, speaker, educator, passionate Alzheimer's advocate, host of Virtual Presentation Friday, which is my weekly conference or presentation week, and also at BTG Voice Ambassador. So that's something that I've just added. Again, once we go, I'll do a little show of my profile, and you'll see that probably majority of my experience is volunteerism. I wish there was a way to get paid for all the volunteering I do, but there's not. I just love giving back and being a part of the community. And then my shows where I'm from, how many connections and contact info and so forth. So that's that. You definitely want to make your profile. It doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to be, go out tomorrow and pay for a professional shot. Just make it presentable, but don't have it be a cut of a previous photo. There's a lot of people out there that will take a boyfriend-girlfriend shot, splice it. You can clearly tell there's another shoulder in there or somebody else in the picture, and they try to use it, and then the face is all blurry. Try to have a good picture, or at least one like mine, where you can copy and paste it, and then you just edit it where you'd like it, and that way it just showcases who you are. And I will tell you that a lot of people connect with me just because they see it and they go, this guy looks like fun, let's connect with him. So just some things to think about. Here's a post that I did in early, it's not 3 days ago, I promise you that. It was not 3 days ago, but it was probably in January when I posted this. If you're going to have an announcement or you have some big, huge thing happening, do it like that. Have lots of exclamation points and then announcement, big update or an update or something along those lines, because then it catches. It makes people go, ooh, what is this? I want to read this. And then hashtags. I use a lot of hashtags. A lot of them I made just to kind of help stand out and catch the eye to make sure that they're seeing it. And so tagging people, here's the cool thing. LinkedIn, you do not have to be connected to somebody to tag them. So like Kim Campbell, I'm not connected to her yet. I'm hoping she will, but I'm able to tag her even though I'm not connected to her. And that's for a free app or paid. So again, you do not have to be connected to them in order to tag them. And this will help you as you do connections like this, you do networking groups like this, and you want to post this event and you tag me, we're not connected, it will encourage the other person to want to connect with you because you're getting ahead of the game. You're going, hey, this person tagged me and I'm not even connected to them. Maybe I should try to connect with them and find out more about who they are and how we can have synergies together. And then all the speakers that I had, and you can tag companies, same thing. You can tag a company without having to follow them on LinkedIn terms. So those are some of the things that I've done, and it gets people gravitating to it. So if somebody's following, Comfort Keepers or Anthem, and I tag them, well, now they're being tagged, and other people that are following Anthem are going to go, hey, what's this? And they're going to find out more and follow you more. Pictures, again, pictures are worth 1,000 words. I post these pictures so that way, again, it makes people stop and go, what is this? I want to read more on this. And then it makes them want to follow and read what's going on with the comments that I have on the post. The thing that I do, because you can tag all these people in a post, but then LinkedIn's going to get mad and they're going to get frustrated. And I've been kicked off LinkedIn because I was tagging too many people in the actual post. So I do a separate comment after I post it and tag all the people I want to tag to this post. So once I post it, I immediately tag everybody that I want, and these are the people that I tagged. And so again, see, there are 2 people in there that I am connected to, but for whatever reason, LinkedIn was like, this is too much. I can't tag them, and they didn't tag them. So that happens often. So just be aware of that. If you have this many people you want to tag in your post, I probably would recommend tagging them in a comment. Still does the same thing. They will still get alerts that they've been tagged, and they're going to go to you. People that are connected with them will follow along and see that they've been tagged in something, and they're going to go look to see what's going on. I use a photo collage. You can go to your app store and download a free photo collage, and that's how I get these pictures to kind of fold together. I like it this way because then people see all the collage and they're not having to swipe constantly to see all the pictures that I might post, because that can be time consuming and a lot. So these are some of the things that I do after a presentation or an event. And so I take pictures of the most prominent things that I think people would be encouraged to see. And then I post it, and then, tag again, the same thing, tag people in the comments below so that people can be drawn to who attended and be seeing what's going on. Alzheimer's, see, look at that, Emily. I had to put it in there. So this was a unique one. I have this tripod, and I actually had to extend it all the way and put it all the way up and do a 10-second timer so I could get the flower shot. So the things we do to get that actual good shot of what we're looking at, because we tried to do one where I just put it over my head and I tried to take a picture. You could not tell it was a flower. You just would look and see this weird thing and you're like, what is that? Those of you that have a dirty mind, get out of here. Okay, that's enough. So these are some of the things that I've done, and these are, we again, hashtag flowers of a flower, making up hashtags just to kind of get people reading it and going, what is this? And that's what you want to do. Do not be afraid to overthink overthinking. Okay, don't overthink overthinking a post. You can do a wonderful thing called edit. Once you post it, if you start reading it or go back to it and you go, oh, I have misspelled so many times on LinkedIn because my autocorrect will put in a word or won't put in a word, and I have to go back. And I've actually had people private message me and go, Micah, I think you missed something there. And I'm like, oh, and I edit it. We're human. We will make mistakes, and it's okay to make those and just go back and fix it. Again, an update. I did a spicy chocolate challenge for Alzheimer's, and I did many videos for this, and I created a goal. I met my goal, and I was just doing a video to encourage people that, hey, I met my goal. Thank you to so many people that, participated in my fundraiser, and I tagged them. And then I did this update so people knew, how am I doing on my goals as far as fundraising, or for those of you that are meeting a census goal, or, whatever the case may be. Those are things people want to know. They want to be part of your network and part of your mission and your goals, and you want to keep them updated. And that's the best way to do it. LinkedIn, there's probably, since COVID, when I did these presentations for ECPI last year, there were probably about 7 million people on LinkedIn. And now you can imagine there's probably over 10 to 15 million people on LinkedIn now. So, and it keeps increasing. Here's the big part: pros and cons of premium versus free. I have only done a 30-day trial for a premium account, and that was it. I've never paid for it. I've done all the things I've done free, and trust me, it's well worth it. Premium, you can have connections to the 6th degree see your posts. That's a lot of degrees. That's a lot of people that can see your posts. Most of the time, the people that use this are recruiters, and that's basically the main one that I see using it is recruiters, because they want to be able to help companies find the right people to fulfill a position. So they really are the ones that use this and pay for the account. Or event planners. Event planners are another one that will pay because they want to get those other speakers and get more people involved in their events. That's primarily the two people that pay. And I will say it's anywhere from $40 to $60 to pay a month for a LinkedIn premium account. I just don't, I cannot spend that much. My company will probably shoot me if I spent that much on a LinkedIn account. The other benefits are you can private message anyone, even if you're not connected. Those of us that have a free account, we can only private message those that have a connection with us, that we're connected with on a first degree. And you're also being able to see everyone who's viewed your profile since you started using LinkedIn. For those of us that use the free account, you can only see up to the most 4th recent view of your profile. So if somebody viewed your profile 15 hours ago, then somebody viewed it 10 hours ago, and somebody viewed it 8 hours, and then within 10 minutes, you're only going to see those 4. Anybody that saw it after that, oh, thank you. Wow, that was a amazing time warning. So, you know, in free, you're only up to see that. But when you pay, you can see every person from when I started, 2015, I could see every person that viewed my profile, you know, that long ago, which is a lot. So fun experiment time. So I'm coming to a close. Let me just exit here and stop sharing. And this is the last thing I'm going to show you, and then I'll end. So here's my profile. And so I was able to, there we go. You want to have, you know, again, about who you are as a person, as a networker, as a community ambassador, as whatever it is that you want to showcase. You want to share that in that. Your dashboard that shows how many people viewed you, who's viewed your most recent posts. Whoops, that was fast. These are the most activities, how many followers you have. And then this is your experience. And this is where you really want to make sure, if you're looking for a job or you're trying to get your name out there and try to be open to work, make sure your resume on paper matches your LinkedIn resume, because companies will look at both. They will compare and see which one's true or which one's most accurate, or are you lying? So make sure, if you are looking for a job, make sure your LinkedIn is up to date with your paper resume. So here's the experience that you have. And then education, and this is where it gets licenses and certificates. This is where it gets overwhelming. Volunteer experience. And then unfortunately, I have 10 more to show, which I'm not going to go into that. Here's where you want to spend a lot of not a lot of time, but just be up to par with skills and endorsements. I believe Kirsten, I hope I pronounced that name right. Kirsten, I believe, did a shout out for this event, and she commented that I had over 100 networking endorsements. And this is where people can endorse you for your skills. You know, so for example, you can have up to 50 endorsement skills on your profile. I have it all maxed out, and this is where you can show who you are and how you are at what you do. Proofreading, public relations, event planning, marketing research, pre-opening. And these are things that people, as they're looking at your profile, can go, yeah, I think that they're good at this, or, you know, want to just help support you and your skills, so that other people, when they come to you, they go, okay, this person I really want to connect with because they're really good at what they do. And then the last thing is recommendations. This is like a letter of recommendation that you would get from your company or your boss, but this one is from connections on LinkedIn or in your professional setting. It's better to have given more. I'm almost there. I'm 3 away from given more than I've received. And this is a really good way, again, for people, as they're viewing your profile, they can see what kind of person you are and who is recommending you and why. And this is a really good vantage point for you to stay, on top of your connections and for people to want to connect with you. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing and I will be quiet now. Was that 20 minutes? I'm sorry, that was longer than 20 minutes. Sorry.
That's okay. So I wanted to pull some comments from the chat.
Oh, please.
So one question, oh, it just scrolled. I know that certain industries like business consulting and IT are heavily represented on LinkedIn. Are there industries that don't seem to be as prevalent? And as you think about that, I also just wanted to read some comments from Mary Bell. She recommended leaving a note when connecting, always a good way to help get connected to someone you might not know as well. And Gigi said that if you don't just immediately jump on board with paying for LinkedIn, but you're interested in trying out, sometimes you can get a deal, or you can get a deal on a premium. And then the other question, well, I'll let you, if you have something on the first, sorry.
What was the first question?
Are there any industries that you think are just not as represented on LinkedIn, that it might not be as beneficial maybe?
So who asked that question? Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? Gigi?
So
there we go.
So I work at PVCC, obviously, and I have a lot of healthcare students. And previously, I was like, I just don't find a lot of healthcare professionals on there, and I'm slowly seeing, because nurses, they don't have a problem getting a job. Radiographers, so then I have found it a little frustrating to show students that for all industries. And then I have to say, I do, as somebody had put in the note about, make sure you put a note in when you link to somebody, because I totally agree. Because I get a ton of, oh, link to me, and it looks just like they're trying to sell me insurance. And so I try to tell students to say, no, put a note, especially with alumni. And so that's where I just kind of go. And then sometimes students will, I messaged that person and I never heard back. And so sometimes, especially when LinkedIn first started, they, had people import their address book, really, really annoyed all those people who then got emails saying, oh, your friend says you should join LinkedIn. And so that's why I just like, do you see industries that are just not well represented on there? Like skilled trades, I would say low, I desperately try to get students to do LinkedIn, and a lot of times they go, nah.
Well, so if you're looking for like specifically healthcare, there are a lot on there. Probably, I didn't show, but I follow probably 90%, 95% of the things I follow are healthcare related. So, and I have probably, unfortunately, 100 to probably 125 things that I follow. And again, 95% of them are healthcare related. So, but healthcare has evolved so much especially during COVID. There's companies that are IT, that are dealing with digital, that are dealing with, even some things like what Gary Gallagher does. There are organizations that are doing testing for COVID in retirement communities, skilled nursing. There are out there, and somebody just chatted as well. What you can do is in the search bar, type in healthcare groups or healthcare companies, and that will help. Because again, when I was teaching this class, what I'm teaching you all, to ECPI students who are getting ready to come out and do long-term care as a administrator, we went through this class and they felt better and they were feeling confident. But once they got out, they needed to open an account. They needed to start letting people know who they are as a person and letting them know who they are as a professional, so people can actually want to see, because we're all on LinkedIn. There are CEOs that I follow that are CEOs of big top companies and so forth, and they're on there looking. So it's just a matter of searching it properly. And I think, like, if you were to search Kindred Hospice or Kindred Nursing Home or Sabre Healthcare or Consulate, you're gonna see them pop up. Or if you're looking for a hospital system, type in, for Virginia, Centera. If you type in Riverside, Bon Secours, you're gonna pull those up. GenCare, there are out there. You just have to search it in the comments or in the search bar. Gary.
Mike, I just have a question for Gigi or some of the others. So what would be the purpose of using LinkedIn? Because you may not have a market. Like for instance, in senior living, a lot of the lower end or smaller providers, the owners, they may not be that active, right? But a lot of the people who may be able to help network you in are active.
Yep.
So LinkedIn is really for students is a way for them to look at how do I build my brand in a digital world, in a social selling or a social world. How do I let people know who I am? And even if they're in a, say you mentioned trades or, you know, trade school, things like that, it may not be that they're necessarily hunting for jobs on that. You may not have recruiters for that, but they can build their brand and build a following or build awareness. And as they reach out or as they look to do things, you never know where those contacts are going to come into play or who may know somebody. So the other thing that I was going to say is for those that don't use LinkedIn a lot, obviously there are some experts here. It is a professional, it's for business, but professional doesn't mean stuffy, right? Example, Micah. So what gets harder for people to show is their personality. So what I would encourage is when you engage or when you show things, have it be professional, but also use a little bit of personality and let people see who you are so that they can connect to the person, not just here's somebody on there. All they want to do is sell me something, or they want to share a little bit, right? Engage other people that have nothing to do with your industry or your market or your specialty. Follow people, just enjoy it. Try to have fun with it.
And I think that's the biggest takeaway. And I know somebody commented as well, if you're looking for a job on how to search for jobs, if you have the account, you can actually go to the jobs section. There's an app or there's a tab on your LinkedIn account that says jobs, and you can start searching for the type of jobs you are. Another thing that LinkedIn has started to do, like Facebook, is that, you know, the ring around your photo that you can add of what you're looking for. So there's hiring, HR managers, recruiters have that as their part of their profile. There are some people that have open to work as their ring around their profile, so people know that, hey, this person is looking for work. So that's another avenue. So people, as they're looking and searching and you're commenting and you have open to work, they know that this person is actively looking for something, and that draws people to their profile. Even me, because sometimes I just click on it to see, well, what kind of experience do they have? And maybe I know somebody that's asked me, you know, we're looking for a specific person, and I might know them and didn't know that they were looking for a job, and they have that on there. Key component: if your company doesn't know that you're looking for a job and you're still working there, try not to have that on there. You know, otherwise the company might say, yeah, you're open for work because I just fired you. So just be careful of that with that. But a lot of what Gary is saying too, you know, with a lot of the things that I do outside, like I did a YouTube channel because a lot of people were asking me to do one. Okay, I'll stop. It was to show people that there are other activities and other things to show, and to kind of show who I am and try to keep people engaged and, you know, maybe connect with somebody else that maybe I never connected with before. So to Gary's point, you know, be open, just comment. And to Gigi's point as well, if somebody doesn't send you a note, a private note, don't be deterred by that. Because unfortunately, I just hit connect, and a lot of people want to connect. It's after you connect, if you get an immediate, like within 30 seconds of connecting with them, and you get a book of things that they're like, hey, this is why we should connect. This is why you should use our services. This is why I want to sell you things. That's when I go, okay, well, we're connected, but I ain't going to follow. I'm not going to follow you, and I'm not going to respond. I'm just going to leave you alone. Gary, and then we got to stop.
Just one last thing. So Gigi, for that person who may not get a follow back or may not get the invite accepted, if that person is posting something that's relevant to the person they're trying to connect with, tag them in the comments or in the article, and then they'll get a notification of that.
And I'm going to shut up because I've been given the warning twice now.
That's okay. I know I wanted to really jump in because we are getting past time and into the networking time, but Maribel brought up another good point for Gigi, which I think she saw about typing any career type into the search field. And I know for myself, we've been using filters a lot, and we do a lot of recruitment for what I do. And some of you might do recruitment for-profit companies, but I look for volunteers. We look for board members. It's all different types, and there's so many search options that you can do within LinkedIn, and it can get really specific depending on what area you're looking for, what someone who's open for work, whatever it is. So I encourage you, if you haven't played around with those yet, definitely try that out depending on what field you're in.